So coming to a comfortable seated position on your mat to begin with. And taking a few deep breaths, bringing your hands to your rib cage. And notice as you inhale, notice your ribs expanding and deflating as you exhale. Just taking some nice deep breaths. We've got a nice energizing practice for you today to try and warm you all up and try to get you nice and supple and take away any body stiffness that you might have. Thinking about your intention for the practice today and why you're here, what are you hoping to achieve in the next hour? It may be to warm up, it may be to be more supple, or it might be to be more steady. Whatever it is for you today, notice what that intention is and take it with you through your practice. We're going to come to all fours now, bringing your knees underneath your hips and bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, coming into all fours and inhaling and lifting your chest. And exhaling, bringing your spine up towards the ceiling and noticing your breath as you do this. So we start to get some movement into your spine. Taking deep breaths. And lengthening out your exhalation. Noticing how your body feels today. Exhaling into any tight areas that you may have. And moving our hands around, so we're having our fingers pointed out to the sides. Just noticing how that feels on your wrists. And moving your body around in a little circle. Just getting some warmth into your wrists. And if it's comfortable for you, moving your fingertips towards your knees. Just feeling that stretch through the arms, through the forearms. So as you take your deep inhalations, lifting your chest, and exhaling as you lift your spine up towards the ceiling. Moving your fingertips back out to the side. And moving your body around in a circle. Just getting some nice warmth into your spine and moving your fingertips back towards the front of the mat. Taking your knees wide and your feet together, bringing your buttocks down to your heels and walking your hands forward into a child's pose. Feeling the deep stretch into this pose, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. And just taking some deep breaths here, stretching out your body. Noticing how that's feeling through your legs, through your inner thighs, through your lower back, and through your upper back and your arms. Just taking deep breaths here, coming into the space and noticing your legs against the floor and your hands against the floor and the top of your feet. Bringing your hands back towards your feet and just feeling that nice stretch through your body. It's like a little nugget here in a nice safe place. 2 more breaths here. And then coming back to all fours again. And then take your body onto your buttocks and hugging up your knees to your chest. Rolling your body around on the mat. Feeling that nice massage through your lumbar spine. Getting some movement into that area. And if it's comfortable for you, reaching forward and grabbing hold of either your shins or your feet and bringing your feet up into a happy baby pose. And just moving around, moving your legs around, and moving your body around, just feeling that releasing through your back. Either holding the inside of your feet or the outside edge of your feet or your shins, whatever's comfortable for you. Two more breaths here. And releasing your feet and bring your hands to your knees. As you exhale, bringing your knees towards your chest and squeezing the air out through your lungs. And inhaling as you take your knees away from your body. This is Apanasana. We'll just go here for a couple more breaths. Just bring your knees in and out. And then dropping your feet towards the floor. So you've got your legs bent with your feet on the floor and your hands out to the side, straight out from your shoulders. As you exhale, bring your knees towards the right side and look towards the left, bringing your first twist for the day. Taking a few breaths here, noticing how that feels on your back and down your left side. And then inhaling to the center and dropping your knees towards the left side, looking to the right. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath here. And then bring your knees back to the center, hugging your knees to your chest, doing a couple of circles in a clockwise direction, and then a couple of circles in an anti-clockwise direction. And then bringing your body to the side, and we're going to lay down on our front. So with your front of your body facing the floor, your legs out straight, your hands underneath your shoulders. And as you inhale, I want you to lift up nice and gently as we get some movement into your lower back. So inhale as you lift up and exhale, taking your body back down towards the ground. Inhale, coming up. And we're going to stay in this position, staying in this position with either our arms up fairly straight, just dropping our shoulders down towards the ground. Just noticing that nice stretch through the body. Two more breaths here. And then coming back up into all fours. And bringing your knees wide towards the sides of the mat. Bring your buttocks down to your heels. And take your body back into a child's pose. We'll go here for a couple of breaths, just rinsing out the body after this twist that we've done. Taking a deep breath in and then let the breath go. And one more. And then coming up onto all fours. So we're going to do some alternate arm lifts here. So we're going to be lifting our left hand and our right leg as we inhale, keeping our back nice and flat as if we've got a glass of water on our back that we don't want to spill. So let's begin with inhaling, lifting your left hand, left arm and right leg, having your toes pointed down towards the ground. And exhale as you bring your knee and your elbow towards each other. And then inhale, taking them back up again. Nice controlled movement, remembering not to spill the water that's on your back. Continue on for 3 more rounds. Keeping your body nice and steady. Good, and then bringing your left hand and your right knee down to the mat. And we'll change over to the other side. So starting with a nice flat back. So this time we're going to inhale. We're going to lift up our right hand and our left leg. So on inhalation, lifting up right hand, left leg, keeping the body nice and flat. And then as we exhale, bringing your elbow and your knee towards each other. Touch them if you can. Inhale, bring them up, and then exhale. You're really bending your spine around into that position. So you're getting some nice movement through your arms and your legs and your hips and your spine. Following the gaze of your hand and keeping your body nice and steady. Deep breathing. And one more. And then landing the hand and the knee back onto the mat. Exhaling into child's pose. And then just rinsing all that movement out. Taking 3 deep breaths here. And then on your next exhalation, tucking your toes underneath and lifting your hips up into your first downward dog for the day. So coming up into the downward dog, pushing your heels back towards the mat. Just come out to this. Taking some deep breaths here, walking your heels down towards the mat. Feeling that, noticing the stretch down the back of your legs. Taking some deep breaths here. Releasing the tension from your shoulders. Remembering today as you go through your practice to take your intention with you and to be gentle on yourself. If any of these poses becomes a little bit strong, you can always go and rest into child's pose. And then stepping forward with your feet into an Uttanasana, so forward fold. And we'll take a few breaths here, just noticing this gentle inversion. Bringing your hands towards the mat, or you can tuck them underneath your toes. Taking some nice deep breaths here, noticing how your body is feeling and notice how your mind is feeling. Two more breaths. And then on your next inhalation, bringing your arms all the way up into a mountain pose. And bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. Okay, giving your body a little bit of movement here. We're going to try something new today, a little bit of a playful downward dog. So we're going to, I'll just show you what we're going to do to start with. So we'll start in a Tadasana pose, and then we're going to inhale, come up to mountain pose. we're going to exhale, fold forward, and then we're going to step back into downward dog. And once we're here, we're going to lift up one leg. So we're going to lift up the right leg. So we'll end up in a three-legged dog. So let's give that one a try from the start. So we're going to start off with our Tandasana. We're going to inhale, bring our arms up to mountain pose. Exhale into Uttanasana. We'll inhale, lift our chest, and then exhale, we're going to step back into downward dog. Getting nice and comfortable here. And then we're going to lift up the right leg into a three-legged dog. So we're going to hold that leg up, taking some nice deep breaths. The toes going to be pointed towards the floor. If you find this pose is a little strong, you can take your foot back down into downward dog. But if you can manage it, just bending that knee now, that right knee, into scorpion pose. Taking 3 more breaths here. Nice and strong through the left leg and through the shoulders. And then bringing the right foot down to the mat. Walking that out. And then bringing your knees back down and coming into child's pose. Just letting your breath return to normal here. And then we're going to inhale, coming up into all fours. And we'll exhale into downward dog. And this time we're going to take the left leg up into the air, into three-legged dog. Having the toes, the left toes pointing down towards the mat. Nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Bringing the right heel down towards the mat. Taking a couple more breaths here, and then bending the left knee up into scorpion pose. Let's go 3 more breaths. And then gently bringing the left leg down to the mat, walking out your feet, and then coming back down to knees on the mat into child's pose, and taking 3 breaths there to relax and recover, even out your breath from that one. Okay, taking 2 more breaths into child's pose. And then coming up into all fours, and then bringing your feet up into downward dog and stepping forward into Uttanasana and coming all the way back up. Nice. So hopefully, is everybody still okay? Give me a thumbs up. All good? Okay, we're going to start now with some sun salutes. So these can be quite warming as well. So I'll walk you through the first one, and then you can join in. So we start off towards the top of our mat. We're going to inhale and bring our hands up into mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting your chest and flattening out your back. And then as you exhale, stepping back into high plank. You can go to the half plank here if you want, bring your knees to the ground and slowly lowering your body to the mat. Inhale into an upward dog. And then tucking your toes under, exhale into downward dog. And then stepping or jumping forward into Uttanasana, lifting your chest, folding forward, and then coming all the way back up. to the start. Okay, so let's go and do some rounds together. So let's do 3 rounds. Let's do 2 rounds together, and then you can do 2 rounds at your own pace. So stepping forward towards the front of the mat. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms and lift our gaze. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, lift our chest and lift our gaze. Stepping back into a high plank or a low plank. Slowly lowering your body down towards the mat. Inhale as you lift your chest into an upward dog. Tucking your toes under and then lifting the hips up into a downward dog. Bringing your body forward and your gaze towards your hands, and then stepping forward into a forward bend. Inhale as you lift your chest. Exhale, folding forward, and then inhale. Come all the way back up. Good. So that's 1 round. We'll do another round together, then you can do 2 rounds at your own pace. Okay, let's begin. So inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhaling, lifting our chest. And then exhale, stepping back with your legs into either a high plank or bringing knees down to the ground to low plank. Slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift your chest into an upward dog. Tucking your toes under as you exhale into a downward dog. And then stepping forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest, flattening out your back. Exhale, folding forward, bring your chest close to your legs. And then inhale as you come all the way back up. Nice work. Okay, let's go 2 at your own pace. So I'll keep doing it, but you go at your pace this time. Nice work, ladies. Got 1 more round to go. Well done. So that gets the heart pumping a little bit, gets the body nice and warm. Let's give your body some nice movement here and taking some deep breaths. Relaxing your breath. Let's take a big breath in and then let it go. Releasing some of the heat. And another one, breathing in and then let it go. Okay, the next one we're going to go into is a garland pose. So we're going to have our feet about hip width apart and our toes pointing out. And we're going to exhale and we're going to go down into a deep squat. It's a yogi squat. So with this one, if you have a cushion or a blanket, you can actually put that underneath your heels. Like, so for example, if you had something rolled up, you could put that underneath your heels and it just supports you a little bit more in this one. Okay, so we're going to start off. So we've got our our legs hip width apart, our toes pointing out. We're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to go into deep, deep squat. If your knees will let you with this one. If you find that you need to come a little bit higher, you can. Just see how you feel. You might come up if your knee's feeling a bit funny, and then come back down again. If your knees aren't happy, you can come up a little higher. So just see how you feel. My right knee's not really liking this today, but I think I'm right now. Sometimes it just takes a minute for your knee to get into the right spot. So coming into this pose with your hands in prayer in front of you and gently pressing your elbows against your knees. Bring your chest up nice and tall. I'm going to take a few deep breaths here. And if you manage to put the support underneath your heels, you'll find that it just makes you feel a bit steadier. And as you get more movement into your ankles over time, you won't need that as much. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to bring our hands towards the ground. And we're going to bring our hips towards the ceiling into a forward fold. And then coming all the way up on the next inhalation. Good. Okay, the next one we're going to do is a chair pose. So I'll go side on so that you can see. So we're going to do something similar, but just not as deep. It's quite strengthening on your legs. So we're going to start with our legs a little closer together than what you just had. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring our arms up, and then we're going to squat down into like a half squat with our hands in the air. And we're going to stay here for about 4 breaths. So feeling that quite deep strengthening through the top of the legs. Taking deep breath, bringing your chest up and your arms up. One more deep breath here, and then coming up into Tandasana. And then we'll do 2 more of these. So inhaling, bring your arms up, and then exhaling as you go back into the squat. And we're going to count for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back up. Bring your hands back to heart center. Taking some deep breaths. And we'll go 1 more. So inhaling, bring our arms up. And exhaling as we fold into the chair pose. Chest up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Well done. Okay. Just giving some movement through your shoulders. That one's quite intense on the shoulders as well. Okay, and the next one we're going to do is a little bit of a forward fold. So we're going to start in Uttanasana. So we'll inhale and then exhale as we fold forward. And we're going to step our legs back into, we'll step our left leg back. So we've got our right leg forward. So in this position, and I want you to bend that right leg, and I want you to bring your hands up into Warrior One. So the front leg, the leg on the right, should be, the knee should be over the ankle. Your left leg, toes a little bit out to the side. So the heel of your right leg should be around about position where the arch is of your left foot. So coming into this pose, again, this is a strong pose for the legs. You're probably feeling it through the left hip flexor as well. And then we're going to bring our hands down to prayer. And we're going to go into a slight twist. So we're going to have that front foot still bent forward, and we're going to get our left elbow, and we're going to take it just outside the right leg. And we're going to look to that right side. I'll just change sides so you can see a little better. So into this position, and we're hooking our elbow just over the leg and looking towards the right side. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, spreading your toes out and having your legs nice and strong. Looking up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to release our hands down to the mat. And we'll straighten out that front leg. Just feeling a nice stretch through the right leg. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Just noticing how that one's feeling. And then stepping forward with your left leg into a forward fold. And inhale, come all the way back up again. Good. Now we're going to go to the other side. So this time we're going to have our left foot forward. So we step forward with the left foot and step our right foot out to the side. We're going to inhale, bending that left leg so the knees above the ankle. Bring our arms up. So we're into the warrior one position. I'm staying here for a couple of breaths. So chest up nice and tall, nice relax through the shoulders, nice and steady, particularly through the back leg, which is the right leg. And then we're going to bring our hands down to Anjali Mudra and take our body slightly forward, and we're going to hook the right elbow on the outside of the left leg and looking towards that left side. So it's a twist, it's a standing twist, and you most probably notice a little bit of tension through the glute area on the left side. Staying here for a couple more breaths. And then bringing your hands down to the mat and bringing the left leg into a little bit more straighter position. You can bring your toes up towards your head. Just feeling that nice stretch through the back of the left leg. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And then stepping forward with your right foot, so your feet are together. And let's take a couple of breaths here. Bringing your hands underneath your toes or down towards your ankles. Bringing your chest towards your legs in that forward fold position. Staying here for 3 breaths. And inhaling, coming all the way up. Good. Now finding your way down to the mat, we're going to go into a seated position with our legs out the front. And we're going to go into a position called Paschimottanasana. So I think I'll go side on so that you can see a little better. So it's actually quite similar to the forward fold that we just did, Uttanasana, but this is actually on the ground. So we've got our legs out the front. If this is a bit intense for your hamstrings, you can let your knees bend a little bit. But coming up into really nice and tall, coming up onto your sit bones. And we're going to exhale as we fold forward and bring our hands towards our shins or our ankles, or if you can reach forward to your toes, bringing your toes, hooking your thumb and your forefinger around your big toes and bringing your chest towards your legs. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Just feeling that nice stretch through the lower back, through the back of the legs. And as you bring the feet or your toes towards you, you'll feel a nice stretch through the back of your calves as well. And the back of your shoulders. Let's go 2 more breaths. And then releasing that and bringing your feet into a butterfly position. So you can have your feet in a butterfly position so the soles of your feet are touching each other. Bring your spine into a nice tall position. You're up on your sit bones. And as you bring your body forward, we're using our elbows to just gently push a little bit on the inside of our knees. If you find that your knees are quite high up in the air, you can bring your feet a little bit more forward. Or if you'd like a bit more of an intense stretch and your knees aren't so high, you can bring your feet towards your body a little more. So coming into that nice comfortable position, bring your chest up and really feeling that nice deep stretch through the groin area. It's not often that we get a good stretch through here. Just softening your eyes and taking 3 nice long breaths. Taking 1 more deep breath in and then let it go. And releasing your legs. And we're going to give them a little shake and come back into a bridge position. So laying back onto your back with your knees bent. Before you go into the bridge, just giving your body a nice relaxing roll around the lower back. And when you feel you've had enough of that, bringing your feet down to the mat, quite close, have your heels fairly close to your buttocks. And as you inhale, we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling. Really squeeze through the buttocks and bring the hands either to the mat beside you, or you can bring them underneath into a clasp position and then walk your shoulders together and stay in this position here for some nice deep breaths. This is reversing out the effects of the forward folds that we've done with the Paschimottanasana. Really having this nice and high, bringing your hips as high as you can towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes together. And take 3 more deep breaths here, squeezing your shoulders together. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering the spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then hugging your knees into your chest. Then we're going to drop the right foot to the ground and bring the left leg across the right thigh. And then we're going to hug up our legs towards our chest. So you can bring that left leg towards your chest. You can hold on to both legs. You can slide your hands through to the right knee if that's comfortable for you, or you can hold on to the left leg. Just feeling that deep stretch through the glute area and through the back of the left leg. And then gently bringing your right foot down to the mat. Place your right hand on your left knee and your left hand straight out from your shoulders, and draw your left knee towards the right side of the mat as you look towards your left hand. Let that gently come down to wherever's comfortable for you into this deep stretch. Feeling a nice stretch down your left side, around the left buttocks and a little bit on the left ITB. Taking 3 deep breaths here, releasing any tension that you may have in the lower back. If this is a little intense for you, you can just have your knees bent on top of each other without the extra bit. One more breath here. And then bringing your knees back towards the middle and unfold them. And then hug both knees up to your chest, doing some little circles on your lower back. And then we're going to place our left leg across the front of our right leg across the front of our left leg and hug that close to your body. So you can either draw the right leg towards your chest, or you can slide your hands through and bring your left bent leg towards your chest. Just noticing that intense stretch there. Noticing it on your right buttock. 2 more breaths here. And then releasing your hands, bringing the left foot down to the ground, taking the left hand on the right knee and the right hand out straight out from your shoulders. Draw that left knee towards the left side of the mat and look towards your right side. So coming into this stretch again on the other side. Trying to keep your shoulders fairly flat on the mat and noticing the stretch down the right side of your body, massaging through the organs on the right hand side of your body, and noticing the release through the lower back and glute area on the right side. Taking 3 more deep breaths here, just relaxing into the stretch and noticing how that feels in your body. One more deep breath. And then on the next inhalation, bring your knees back to the center and unfold your legs. And then hugging your knees to your chest and some gentle movement there just to release your lower back. Okay, we're going to go into an inversion next. So we've done quite a few of these before. So you can choose the inversion of your choice. You can lay on your back with your legs in the air. You can put a bolster or a cushion or a block underneath your lower back as you lift up to give you a supported shoulder stand. You can have legs up the wall or legs up a chair or next to the bed, whatever's in your room. Or you can go into a half shoulder stand. So lifting up and bringing your hands to your hips. Whatever you choose, coming into that inversion with you. So you've got your feet up in the air, giving your legs a nice shake. So you're feeling nice and light. And we're going to stay here for 8 breaths. Inversions are very good for your immunity, and they're also good to help clear out the lymphatic system, so draining a lot of the fluids out of the feet and the ankles and the lower legs and the upper legs into the lymphatic area around the groin area. Just noticing how your body is and how your breathing is. If you're in a half shoulder stand, you can drop your feet over your head towards a ploughman's pose or a snail pose. If you're having your legs up the wall, you can move them in a wider position, or you can bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, having your knees out.
If you're in the ploughman's pose, you can bring your hands up beside you. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then gently release. And coming into a comfortable seated position.
You might have a block or a cushion or a bolster that you can sit on. We're going to do a little bit of pranayama breathing. We've done this a few times as well. We're going to do one called energise, and energise is a alternate nostril breathing, and the benefits of this is around balancing. It's also quite healing and meditational. So we place our 2 fingers, our 2 longer fingers on our forehead, and we use our thumb and our ring finger on each nostril. So we usually use our right hand, so our left hand is just comfortably in our lap or on our knees. So we bring our 2 fingers to our forehead around our third eye, and we're going to first of all take a big breath in and then big breath out, let it go, and we're going to breathe in, closing off our right nostril with our thumb, pause, and then we're going to breathe out through the left nostril, then inhale through the left and closing off the left, pausing, and then exhale through the right, then inhale through the right, pause, and exhale through the left. So that's 1 round. We'll do 4 more rounds. So inhaling through the left, pause as you close that left side off, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, close that right side off, pause, and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, close that off, and pause, exhale through the right, then inhale through the right, pause, close the right off, exhale through the left, inhale through the left, pause, and exhale through the right. Let's go 1 more round using your own timing and breath. And then gently taking your hand away, just taking some nice deep breaths here and noticing any effects from the Nadishona. It's very calming and balancing and quite healing. We're going to come down into Savasana now. So laying down on the mat, if you have something that you can put over you to keep you nice and warm. If you have an eye pillow, you can pop that on as well. So going into that nice relaxed state, getting nice and comfortable in your Savasana. Taking some nice deep breaths, noticing the floor beneath you. Noticing the floor beneath your heels, beneath your lower legs and your upper legs. Feeling the ground beneath your buttocks and your back and your shoulders and your head supported by the earth. Your hands are comfortably beside you. Feeling the energy of the practice within your body. Enjoying this time of nurturing to consolidate the energy from your practice today. Noticing your breath as you're lying in Savasana. Noticing the sounds outside your room and the sounds inside your room. Noticing your body against the ground. knowing that you have supported yourself through your practice today. Gently rolling to one side, taking a few breaths there. You can stay there if you would like and rest, or you can gently come up into a seated position. Your yoga practice today has increased your vibration for yourself, for your loved ones, and everyone around you. Thank you for your energy today, and thank you for being here today with us. Being here for yourself and for each other in our yoga community. Namaste. Bringing our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts, to our lips for kind words, and to our heart for a kind heart. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and thank you for being here. See how everybody's feeling.